New Line Cinema has this movie to thank for its many years of success, and Steven has me to thank for this movie.
Thank you?
Welcome to our podcast. I'm Brett Hayes.
And I am Steven with a PH, and this is another episode of Horror and the Hater. Today, we're dipping into another one of the major horror franchises, getting started on Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's right. So with all the buzz going on about who's going to play the next Freddy, we've already got the announcement that there's something in the works right now. We decided, why not go ahead, show Steven some Nightmare on Elm Street. Have you seen a Nightmare on Elm Street?
I have not. No, this was my first time watching one. I think I've seen like some clips or like a scene from one as I was scrolling through channels, but no, nothing ever extended. I haven't watched an hour and a half straight of a Nightmare on Elm Street before, that's for sure.
Fuck yeah, buddy. All right. Well, it's written and directed by the great Wes Craven. Have you ever heard of Wes Craven?
I have heard of Wes Craven. That's a name even I have heard of.
Okay, great. Yeah. Scream, Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes, People Under the Stairs, Red Eye. He's pretty much widely considered on the Mount Rushmore of horror directors. So he is definitely a mainstay in the horror community. I'm going to go ahead and say that my notable actor for this one is going to be Amanda Weiss as Tina. Look, she doesn't get that much screen time, but she makes a big impact in her little amount of screen time. Started and ended strong with her performance. Rest in peace, Tina.
Yeah.
My honorable mention, I'm not saying this is the best actor or anything like that. It's going to be Heather Langenkamp, our final girl, Nancy. I mean, I thought she started a little like Rocky. It was very TV drama-esque acting at the beginning of the movie. And the lines, they felt hollow. But I mean, I think she improved dramatically by the end of the movie.
She really caught her stride.
Yeah, she delivered a good performance after that. What say you?
I'm going to have my notable actor go to Mr. Johnny Depp. He was the one that I felt was the most competent out of all of the acting performances. And my most hated character, the most hateable, is going to go to whoever was playing Nancy's mom. Please, you drunk bitch, get it together, woman. Okay, you've now, through your just drunken incompetence and secret keeping, have now gotten 3 kids murdered. So what do you have to say for yourself? Jeez.
Look, spoiler alert. She is my biggest dislike of the movie. I was like rooting at the end of the movie. So we come in with a budget of $1.8 million. Steven, what did the movie make?
$1.8 million. That's all. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I take back some of what I have thought about the cheesiness of the effects in this movie, because you know what? For 1.8 million, that's doing a lot better than some of the other things we've seen.
Oh, so absolutely.
Let's go ahead and say this thing got up to $10 million. I'm not sure what the first
25.8.
Okay, all right.
So a pretty great success off of that kind of budget. So
coming out with a bang.
Yeah, not bad. IMDb has it at a 7.4 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes audience score an 84%, and Letterboxd at 3.7 out of 5. We come in with a group of kids, and a couple of them admit that they're having these odd dreams about a man in a fedora. Which if I had a bad dream about a man in a fedora, I would also tell people. And I would also probably be pretty frightened. But pretty much all that really happens in this movie is they're trying to figure out what is going after them. They've got a couple of the kids start to meet dismal fates, and they find out that the town is kind of hiding like this secret from them. So that is the summary of the movie if I were to write it.
All right, let's get into this thing. So, we start watching Freddy build his famous knife hand gloves. The opening scene of this movie, I saw the credits rolling and I saw Johnny Depp's name on there. And I was like, how fitting that he is in this movie and then goes on to do Edward Scissorhands.
Okay.
So that seemed appropriate.
Yeah.
But we see a woman walking in a nightgown through some kind of warehouse boiler room. All I know is that OSHA would be all over her ass. Okay. Like there is no way they're not throwing the book at this lady. It's like no PPE. She's not even wearing closed-toed shoes, no hard hat. And yeah, the nightgown is definitely not appropriate for this kind of job site. But she's wandering around. This place is super creepy. We hear a faint laugh that continues to echo through the halls of the boiler room. She sees a knife hand cut through this cloth in front of her, and suddenly she wakes up. It was just Tina having a bad dream, a real bad nightmare. But when she looks down at her nightgown, she noticed that it's ripped in the exact same way that the sheet was ripped. Her mom is like, bitch, you need to trim your fingernails.
She
Like,
does. You need to quit having bad dreams or trim your nails.
yeah, it's like, those are your two options. Okay. So Tina is telling her friends about this creepy dream that she has had. They're trying to help her rationalize it and make it seem like not that big of a deal. But it seems like these kids also have some interesting nightmares. So they're hanging out at the house. Glenn, he is able to fool his mom on the phone into thinking that he's over at Barry's house when he's actually hanging out with two girls by himself. Scandalous. Tina, meanwhile, is still freaking out about the dream that she has and is telling Nancy about it. And then Nancy starts telling her about the monster from her dream, a red sweater wearing man with knives for fingers, eerily similar. Some would say exactly the same as the one that Tina saw in her dream.
Right.
So they hear voices outside or something outside, and Glenn goes out to make sure the coast is clear. He's tackled by someone out of the darkness. It's just this douchebag Rod, who is Tina's boyfriend. They're kind of like on again, off again. Like not, a few hours ago she was making fun of his small dick, and now she's ready to make amends with both him and his small dick. So Glenn is trying to get some sleep while Rod and Tina are just being very noisy in the bedroom with their makeup sex, basically.
Morality sucks.
Yeah. So once again, if you are a teenager having sex in one of these movies, just be ready to die. Okay.
True.
Just be ready to die.
True.
So Glenn, they're pillow talking afterwards, and Glenn Rod is saying that hey, there's gonna be no more nightmares for either one of them, which is curious because it's like he had never admitted to having nightmares before. And then as Nancy sleeps, yeah, go ahead.
Men can have nightmares too, Steven.
Well, I know, but he hadn't admitted it. He's a big tough guy in a leather jacket.
You can't just corner the market.
Once again, I know it's not exclusively a female problem.
Okay.
But he's got this tough shell built up that he doesn't want to admit that he has bad dreams that get real scary. But Nancy is sleeping, and the crucifix just kind of flies off her wall. She's awoken by a clatter at the window. The rod is just out like a light, and so Tina goes over to the window to kind of see what's up. The clattering just continues, and then we see the window crack randomly as a whispering voice calls out her name. Now, over in Nancy's room, we see something trying to push its way through the wall, as if the wall has turned to rubber. or is now very, very pliable. But it retreats as she grabs the cross off of her bed and sticks it back onto the wall. Tina, meanwhile, has walked out back alone by herself to find out what's making this odd noise. She sees a shadow of a hatted man on the wall and turns to see Freddy Krueger doing his best Mr. Fantastic impersonation.
Did you like that?
That I was thrown off a little bit. I'll be
Okay.
honest. It kind of took me out. It didn't seem it wasn't exactly scary. It was more of just like, what is this? It looked like when you go to the circus and they have those clowns that just kind of are holding on to the big long arms and
Yeah.
and so the effect didn't really work, but I'm like, okay, I guess it's menacing that he's blocking off the entire road with
That guy plays a mean game of Solo Red Rover.
dude. He would crush it. Let Tina come over. So she runs, but he's suddenly in front of her. She turns back, running to the house. He appears, just kind of apparates from behind a very, very small tree. Like he's in good shape, but it's not that he's not that skinny. Okay, this was like a tiny little sapling that he comes out from behind him. He's like, "Hey, watch this," and then slices off a couple of his fingers. And I kind of expected them to grow back, but no, I guess he was just like, "Hey, you can't hurt me," kind of thing.
Yeah.
Definitely looked really gross. She definitely freaked out. Tries to get into the door. He grabs her as she tries to get it open. They tussle around for a little bit. She grabs at his face, and it just kind of peels off in her hands, which is quite unsettling. That's
yeah.
Her screaming, though, has now alerted Rob, who wakes up, and it turns out she's still in the house under the covers. So he rips away the blanket to reveal her writhing around on the bed, screaming uncontrollably. We see Tina seems to be in pain when all of a sudden 4 scratch marks just run down her stomach and she starts bleeding. She levitates off of the bed. Rod is really unsure of what to do at this point. This is not like any nightmare that he has experienced necessarily.
Not at all.
This looks more like something out of The Exorcist. And so she's on the ceiling now, just kind of spinning around, bleeding all over the place, and then falls to the ground after spewing a lot of blood all around the room. So Glenn and Nancy then come bursting in to see what the commotion is all, and they see the room covered in blood. Tina's body is lying lifeless on the floor, and Rod is nowhere to be found. The window is open, and he's clearly made a break for it.
Oh yeah.
So we go to the cops investigating this, and they think that Rod definitely did this. Obviously, I mean, which here's the thing: it did make sense, you know. The jilted boyfriend, you were the only one in the room, and you get one last bang in and then take your revenge. It's open and shut case, man. It's the classic thing. We've seen it all the time.
Right.
But Donald, the lead investigator, he is actually Nancy's dad. And he's kind of upset with her for being in this house with a couple boys. But Nancy is saying, look, Dad, that we were trying to calm down Tina. She had nightmares. We're trying to be good friends. And to her credit, Nancy was not doing anything. She was like, hey, Glenn, we don't need to be doing any hanky panky right now. We're here for Tina. Okay. So we're going to make sure that she's okay through the night. Get her out of this little PTSD slump that she's having because of her nightmares. So Nancy is just trying to convince her dad that Tina kind of dreamed that this would happen. And her dad is trying to come up with a rational explanation for why Rod did this. So the next day, Nancy is trying to go to school. Her mom says, no, honey, you need to stay home and rest. You haven't slept since this whole thing went down. You really need to sleep. And she's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to sleep in study hall. That is the perfect place to get a little nap in. So she's able to convince her mom to let her go to school. She walks to school, thinking something is following her. She looks back to see if someone is, but she's grabbed and pulled into a bush. It turns out it's just Rod again.
Oh.
Rod loves hanging out in bushes, apparently, jumping out and grabbing people. But she asked if he did it, and he swears that he never touched her. He tries to explain what happened, but Donald is there to hold him at gunpoint. He runs. Nancy's able to fend off Dad and keep her from chasing after him. But the rest of the cops are there, ready to take him into custody. So they get Rod.
So, like, Nancy's dad pretty much put a sting operation on Nancy.
Yeah.
So
Rod is screaming that he didn't do it, while Nancy is pretty pissed at her dad for using her as bait to catch this wanted alleged criminal.
Right.
And so she storms off to school. She's in class. They're studying Shakespeare. And Nancy drifts off to sleep as soon as one of the other students has to read Hamlet. And here's the thing, I get it, because that kid had some terrible delivery. I mean, I understand Hamlet can kind of be boring to some high schoolers, but this kid was not doing it any favors.
High schoolers, I don't want to hear that shit right now.
Yeah, so I can understand that.
The only time I've liked Hamlet was there was a movie called The Last Action Hero. Do you know what that is?
Is that a Schwarzenegger one?
It is a Schwarzenegger one.
Okay,
and
yeah.
Towards the beginning, he's like on this rock and he crushes the skull and he's like, to be or not to be. Then he lights a cigar and he's like, not to be. And then he goes through and like shoots all these knights. So it's pretty awesome. You should check out Last Action Hero. It's great.
All right. So that's the most Shakespeare you'll get. Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's not that bad. Have you ever seen the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged?
Oh, no.
No? You didn't come to my production of that in high school? Gosh, I thought we were friends. That's a fun one.
I may have seen it. I just don't remember seeing it.
Okay. Probably blocked it out because it said Shakespeare at the front of it.
No,
But she hears someone call out to her as she is napping. She looks over to see Tina in the body bag, bloody as ever. There's a pool of blood on the ground outside the hall, and all the students now seem to be in some kind of a trance.
Mm-hmm.
And so she walks out of the class into the hallway, following the trail of blood. She sees the body bag. The feet are lifted by some invisible force, and she's dragged down the other hallway out of sight. So Nancy goes around, turns the corner, and runs into a hall monitor that is wearing a suspicious red and green sweater.
I hate hall monitors.
Dude, they're the worst, man. It's like you give these kids a little bit of power, it just goes right to their heads. Yeah, they just turn into the man that they've fought against for so long. But this hall monitor's a real bitch, and she's like, "You gotta have a hall pass," and he's like, no, okay, you know what? I'm not going to have a hall pass. I'm a free American. All right. But then she turns around to look back at the hall monitor. Hall monitor has a weird knife glove and a weird bloody face now.
What?
Yeah. So she gets out of there, enters a boiler room, and turns to see Freddy. Fred slices open a piece of himself, showing some maggots. He really is just like it. Here's the thing, Freddy, I know that you've probably had a rough life, but cutting is not the way to really cope. It's trauma, man.
The finger thing didn't get me at all, but the maggot chest, I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
Like it got me to retch back a little bit.
Yeah, you think those parasites in the lettuce from Taco Bell are bad. It's like, I don't even want to know what Freddy has been eating. So yeah, he's got those maggots crawling around inside him. He slowly follows her and corners her in a section of the boiler room, laughing the whole time. She screams at him that it's only a dream, and then presses her arm against a hot pipe, waking herself up from the dream. She wakes up in the classroom screaming, and gathers her things and leaves as the students kind of stare in a little bit of little bit of fear and a little bit of confusion.
Mhm.
And then her teacher is like, "Yeah, you're gonna need a hall pass." Like, no, I won't. No, I won't. So she wakes or she leaves the school after waking up, looks down at her arm, sees the burn mark from the dream visible on her arm. And
Mhm.
that's when she knows something is up. So she goes to visit Rod in jail just to kind of get his side of the story. Rod is just really, really bad at explaining what happened. It's like, dude,
Terrible.
just give us a sequence of events, man. That's all we need. Talk about the levitation, maybe. How, like, that was the thing. It's like, how do you think we got that blood all over the ceiling? It's like, try to rationalize this in some way, but he is just doing a really bad job at explaining his story. It's like, don't put him on the witness stand. He is not going to do
No.
well.
The only thing he was like, "I don't know how it happened, and you wouldn't believe me if I told you." And I was like, "Yeah, you've said that like 6 times.
Yeah, maybe you should try telling her
Let's
instead.
do it."
It's like
He's
you're
no fruitcake.
like this. It you're not going to make it any better by just not explaining it. You might as well explain it, and then you at least have an
Right.
insanity plea. Like,
Absolutely.
I mean, come on. Like, an asylum has got to be better than a state prison for capital murder. So he's not a smart guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no mention of levitation, no mention of the invisible thing, the knife wheel, nothing. He says it's as if there were four razors, invisible razors. He finally gets that there was something invisible, cutting her at the same time. And but at first he just thought it was another nightmare that she was having like the nights before, and so
Mhm.
she was just kind of freaking out and still locked into her sleep and dream states. So he didn't start having any suspicions until he saw the invisible knives start to cut her open. And then before she goes, he tells her about a dream that he had the night before, about a man with knives for fingers. And then that's when Nancy knows for sure that he didn't do it. This has got to be that creepy dude from the dream. Also,
Mhm.
he's in this jail cell. He's been there for at least a full day and still hasn't washed his hands. He's still got blood all over his hands. It's like you'd think that like after processing and everything like that, they would get him cleaned up and maybe changed into prison clothes. Nope, we're just throwing this guy in there as is.
Well, we don't know how big, like, the facility is. Maybe they have to, like, wait for, the CSI to come out and, like, scrub his fingernails and stuff
I don't know. I feel like this would be a
for his
priority.
evidence.
They had the fifth precinct was pretty large from what it looked like on that building. I feel like they have the resources there to
Maybe.
get this done, but maybe not. So at home, Nancy, she's laying in a bath trying to relax a little bit out of a super stressful last like 48 hours. She's singing this little jump roping song quietly to herself, and all of a sudden we see the knife fingered glove raise up from the water in between her legs, but retreats back into the water as soon as Nancy's mom knocks on the door.
Did you like that shot?
That was interesting. I was like, oh no, are we gonna get some kind of crazy Evil Dead uncomfortable scene?
Uh,
Um, but no, we didn't. It was fine. Nancy then falls asleep in the tub and gets pulled underneath the water into some kind of black abyss. She keeps trying to swim back up into this little hole of light that is the bathtub, and screams for help. She's able to crawl herself out of the tub as her mom uses a coat hanger to unlock the door. Um, and yeah, she's just freaking out. Her mom is once again just trying to calm her down, being like, "Baby, you gotta get some rest.
mhm.
All right, you got to sleep." But Nancy is like, there is no way I'm going back to Dreamtown right now. Not a chance. So she grabs some caffeine pills out of the cabinet and then decides to stay awake watching horror movies. I don't know. Maybe that's not the best thing to watch whenever you're trying to calm yourself down. Uh,
Uh, Dude, that's kind of my go-to. I mean, like, I'll watch a horror movie if I need to calm down and go to bed and stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but like if you're having nightmares where some demonic entity is affecting the 3D realm, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna watch a horror movie. I might throw
Sure.
on a cartoon or something a
Okay.
little bit lighter. You know, that's just me though. So she then hears something at the window. Turns out it's just Glenn coming out to check on her. He's climbed up the little lattice it's holding the rose bushes and come up to her window. Uh, he hears that she kind of freaked out a little bit in English class today and asked like, "Hey, how did you burn your arm?" She
Mhm.
just says, "Yeah, I did it in English class." Uh, not sure what was burning in English class.
Right, right.
But I mean, maybe if you're in science class, you get some of those little, maybe a hot beaker or something. But English class, come on.
Probably the burning desire to get away from that nerd reading Hamlet.
That is probably what it was. Yes. She asked if he had any weird dreams last night, and kind of asked like, does he think that dreams can maybe be like a little bit prophetic?
Sure.
Now he, on the other hand, he is convinced that Rod killed Tina. He thinks that he's guilty. He turns on him immediately. She is just trying to change the subject. It's like, I need a favor, okay? I need to go look for someone, and you need to be here to stand guard, watch what happens, and be here to clock him whenever I get out. So so she goes back into dream world. We see her walking down the street through the misty moonlight. She makes sure that Glenn is still watching and continues her search. She opens up a door with a broken window and approaches the Fifth Precinct police station. She goes up to the bar windows and looks in to see Rod sleeping down there in his cell. But suddenly the door to the cell opens and Fred walks into the room.
Mm.
He walks right through the bars of the cell, right up to where he is sleeping. And she's trying to warn him the entire time, but then suddenly Freddy's just gone. She turns to look for Glenn and sees Tina's dead body again, this time with a centipede emerging from her mouth, and all of her guts kind of spilling out all over the floor. She calls out to Glenn, and a voice says, "I'm here," but it's Freddy, who pops out, chases her back over to the house. She's able to get in, locks the door behind her, and tries walking up the stairs, but the stairs have turned into like buckets of glue, where she'll take a step and her foot just falls into this sticky mess, preventing her
Mm-hmm.
from getting back up. Meanwhile, Freddy is just trying to break through the door. She's able to get through the crazy weird glue stairs and gets back up to her room. She sees Glenn just fucking sleeping on the chair, not keeping guard. Like Glenn is a tired boy, as we will see more in this movie, but he's just fast asleep on the chair. She tries to tell herself that it's all a dream and this isn't real, but Freddy comes bursting through the mirror door and grabs her by the collar, raising the knife hands to her. She tries to defend herself with a pillow, and he slashes it, sending feathers cascading all around the room. And they tussle around. He's trying to get the upper hand when suddenly her alarm clock starts ringing and she wakes up. And then she gets really pissed at Glenn for falling asleep and not keeping guard, which I can completely understand. It's like, dude, you literally have one job. She has a coffee pot like in her room. Like, how can you not stay awake for like, 20 minutes? I don't get it. But so she and Glenn, they go down to the precinct. They say they need to talk to Rod again. It's the middle of the night, but it's urgent. And so in Rod's cell, though, we see the sheets have come alive a little bit and are twisting up towards his face as he lays there asleep on his cell bed. Now, Deputy Dad and all the other officers argue with her about whether or not they can see Rod, and she's able to convince them to go in and at least check on him. But back in the cell, we see the sheets have started to tangle around Rod's neck and lift him up, hanging him from the bars. The cops and the kids, they walk in right as Rod's body goes lifeless. They cut him down from there, and Nancy knows that Freddy's gotten himself another victim. The cops think that this is just a classic, old Epstein scenario, basically. But
Okay.
Nancy knows Rodstein didn't kill himself. Okay, it's not a chance. So we're at Rod's funeral. Nancy is trying to tell her dad that the killer is still out there. This case is not so open and shut as he thinks. It's a man with a burned face and a red dirty sweater, and he has knives for hands. What is so hard to understand about this killer profile? Like, sketch artists could do this, no problem, man. Her parents, on the other hand, are ready to have her institutionalized at this point. So
Yeah.
they take one step before that. Her mom takes her out to the Katja Institute for the Study of Sleep Disorders. So they're going to hook her up to a bunch of wires and see what's going on in that brain of hers while she sleeps. So she reluctantly agrees to fall asleep again, and the doctor and the mom kind of watch from the other room, checking the monitors to make sure everything is going all right. The doctor thinks this is probably just some normal PTSD type thing. She just had a traumatic experience. She's
Right.
now, it's like, what are dreams anyway? We still don't truly know what they actually are. So the readouts, they're looking normal at first. He's like, here's the thing. If this thing gets up to about like 5 or 6, that's how we know she's having some crazy nightmare. That's when readouts start going off the charts. Okay. 5 or 6 is kind of the high point. This thing hits like 30 almost immediately. Like,
What, isn't the machine broken or something?
No, machine's definitely not broken. It is
Oh,
it is
okay.
actually reading things correctly. She's writhing on the bed. The doctors and the mom run in to help her and are able to get her back into the awake world. And they find, though, that a lock of her hair has turned gray. She has a scratch wound on her arm that's bleeding. They go to quickly bandage it. But also, she is holding on to a tattered fedora that she says she brought back with her from the dream.
You know what I think this is all attributed to?
What's that?
Stress.
Yeah,
It's just stress.
yeah. Stress will make you
You're
smuggle
not
a
sleeping
fedora
enough, man.
in
You gotta-
some weird location. Where did she smuggle that fedora in? I don't know.
Stress.
I guess it's, yeah, we'll chalk it up to stress. We'll we'll bill the insurance and we'll be on our way. So mom thinks she's crazy, and has turned to the bottle to cope with this. Nancy's mom is a real drunkard. She is just going in on that vodka, bro. She's got bottles stashed all over this
She
house.
does.
Yeah,
And there's always like a different bottle with her too.
Yeah, no, it's always like she's very brand loyal. She's got that one, big ass red label bottle, but she's got them everywhere. I wouldn't be surprised if you lift the back of the toilet and there's one in there as well. But she's got them in the closet, she's got them in the fridge, she's got them just behind the couch, all over the place. Nancy, on the other hand, she's just crushing cups of coffee to try to stay awake. Nancy asks her mom if the hat has been examined, and the mom says, no, I just threw that away. She tells her that there is a guy that is after them in her dreams. Okay. Mom is convinced that is not reality. She pulls the hat, which is in the drawer. Mom didn't throw it away. It was just literally like in the drawer. And tells her mom that it has his name on it. Look, it says Fred Krueger right there on the inside brim. And her mom just tells her, you gotta sleep this off. She says, or Nancy says, maybe you should just maybe you just should hit the bottle like you always do. That'll solve your problems. And then mom hits her in the face for the offense. And she's convinced, though, that like Fred Krueger can't get you because he's dead. So Nancy smashes that bottle of booze and storms out of the house. It's like, you know who Fred Krueger is? This is crazy. So she meets up with Glenn, grabbing some lunch, chilling on a bridge outside, and he's telling her about this old ancient dream book that he found. It's like, you gotta just like tell them that they don't exist. Turn your back to them. Stop giving them that energy, and they'll stop existing. They're these dream ghosts are like Tinkerbell. If you just stop believing in them, then they go away. It's fine.
Oh.
She is really not interested in reading this book. She's more into her book on improvised explosive devices. Not sure if she got Uncle Ted's manifesto to go along with it, but she's got a book on some IEDs.
Is this the proof of concept for Home Alone?
Oh, 100%. We're going to talk about the Home Alone shenanigans later in this. Okay. So we are going to talk about the Home Alone shenanigans. So she returns home. She finds that there are now bars on all the windows of the house. And mom tells her that the bars are just there for security. She then tells her to come down to the cellar and she's going to explain everything. And so they go down there. There's an old furnace, and mom starts to explain that Fred Krueger was a mass child murderer in the neighborhood, killed like 20 kids before they were able to catch him. It drove that town crazy when they didn't know who it was, but it was somehow worse after they caught him, almost. She pulls something out of the furnace that's wrapped up in a cloth. And she tells them that the court paperwork got mixed up. There was some weird technicality with the evidence, and even though the judge and the lawyers were getting famous off this case, Fred Krueger got off on a technicality and was found not guilty. So the citizens decided to take justice into their own hands. They hunted him down, trapped him in an old boiler room where he used to take the kids, and they burned that place to the ground with him in it. And so she is convinced that he can't get you now because he is dead and mommy killed him. And then out of the cloth, she pulls the knife glove. And that's supposed to make her want to like go to sleep.
Right. Yeah. Bad dreams over. I'm Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, it was me the whole time. That's a hell of a Scooby-Doo episode, man. Tell you what. So Glenn, he is laying on his bed over across the street in a crop top. I guess, Johnny is this young heartthrob at this point. You gotta show off that stomach.
Oh, are you crushing?
No.
Okay.
I just thought it was a little bit weird. I was like, dude, why are we wearing a crop top, man? I guess maybe the old football jerseys were cut a little bit shorter, but
now you mentioned the crop top in another movie. I'm trying to think of what it was, but it was all around the same time period. So
okay, maybe it was just.
Is it one of the Friday the 13th that they had a crop top going?
I think so. Yeah, those old young teenagers. Maybe that was the style back in the 80s. Dudes wearing crop tops. I am glad we have progressed as a society.
Okay.
So Tina calls over to him and tells him that she knows now who the killer is. And she's also been awake for 7 days straight now, which I think is actually like against the Geneva Convention on Torture. Like it's that's not good. She's like, the world record's 11 days, so don't worry. I'm not even close to getting this record, but I'll be fine. A week straight of no sleep. Yeah, that's not bad. So she says she needs his help to nail the guy who is doing this. She's going to try to pull him out of the dream. She was able to pull the hat out of the dream. So all she's got to do is grab him, get woken up. He'll come out of the dream world with him. And then Glenn can hit him with a baseball bat. And that'll probably do the trick. So she says to meet her over at the back porch at midnight. And in the meantime, don't fall asleep. Okay. Like, don't fall asleep. He can get you in there. Don't fall asleep.
Yeah.
Glenn immediately falls asleep. His mom wakes him up and tells him that he needs to go to bed without his headphones on. Okay. So Nancy's mom over there tries to convince her that the nightmare is over. Okay. And she gets her tucked in. As soon as she leaves, Nancy wakes up, pulls out a pot of coffee from underneath her bed, and continues to just down caffeine.
She got a Mr. Coffee under there?
She got a Mr. Coffee under there, and I'm surprised mom didn't smell it. But maybe she's too drunk. I don't know.
Too drunk. Yeah.
Yeah. So Rod's parents, meanwhile, they're watching over there from across the street, and they think that this bitch is crazy. Okay. We don't need our son hanging around with these crazy bitches anymore.
I like what his dad says is like, woman, I don't care what you say. I don't want her around my son.
Do not want her around my son. So Nancy tries to sneak out of her room, sees her mom grabbing one of her secret bottles of booze. She tries to call Glenn again, but he's asleep. And so his parents pick up the phone, tell her to stop calling, and they leave the phone off the hook so she can't call back. So now she gets a call and she answers it, hoping that it is Glenn telling her that he is on the way. But instead, it is just some scraping knives against the window. That's what she hears. She hears over the phone. She freaks out. She's like, oh shit, Freddy's in my phone. Pulls the phone cord out of the wall, wraps it up, throws it onto the bed. But the phone is still ringing. She picks it up. And she hears a voice say, I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. And then the phone has a mouth and it tries to kiss her. Weirdly.
Was that shocking?
It wasn't shocking. I had to rewind it because I was like, wait, what? What was that? Because I had to look at the phone. The phone, whenever you look at it, paused, it's not a good effect. I can see why they did a quick cut on that one.
I think you rewinded it because you liked it.
No, I was more of just curious of like, wait a second, why did she throw down the phone? And it's like, oh, there's a tongue on it.
People, if you find a tongue phone, please send to Steven.
Don't do that. I'm not going to disclose my address. Okay. So she smashes the phone on the ground, tries to run out to get Glenn, but she is locked inside. Not only has her mom put bars on the window, but she got some extra locks on there that she's not going to let her out. And her drunken mother is laying on the couch, tells her that you're going to get some sleep if it kills me. Spoiler alert, it might. Ooh. So Glenn sleeps in his bed, and the clock strikes midnight. He has overslept once again and is late for his appointment with Nancy. But then suddenly, from up in the middle of the bed, a gloved hand rises up, reaches around his torso, and pulls him into it, leaving a dark black hole in the middle of the bed from which there ejects like a monsoon of blood. Just all over the place. It's definitely several. It's probably like 20 kids worth of blood.
Sure.
So it's definitely not just Glenn.
It was awesome though.
That was a very good effect. So that was probably their best one of the movie. And honestly, that's probably not the grossest thing that's happened in one of Johnny Depp's beds. So
that's uncalled for, sir. Objection.
You know, fuck Amber Heard, that crazy bitch. So Glenn's mother walks in to see the madness and freaks the fuck out. This is definitely not your normal crime scene. All right. EMTs are arriving at the house, and the guy is like, guys, you do not need that stretcher. Okay. You need a mop. Maybe like 12 of them. Cop dad walks into the house. He sees the blood leaking from the ceiling from the upstairs bedroom into the bottom floor. He grabs the phone, and Nancy is on the other line, tells him what happened. She's like, Dad, it is Fred Krueger that did this, and he wants to come in and like he's coming for us. Okay. So now that Glenn is dead, You need to come over here. I'm going to go into dream world. I'm going to grab him. You're going to wake me up. Okay. So you like come over here at exactly 12:30 and get him. Okay. Dad still not into this story. Okay. So he's like, yeah, babe, don't worry. I'll be there. It's fine. But like seriously get some rest.
Yeah.
Then tells one of his cop buddies to just go watch the house. Call me if you see anything funny. So in her room, Nancy is pulling out her IED book and getting to work building some of these makeshift bombs. This is where we get the little Home Alone sequence of her setting up tripwires, filling a light bulb with some black powder, putting that into the lamp. It's rigging up a sledgehammer to go over a doorway to
Hell yeah.
fall down and hit Freddy as he walks through the door. All kinds of fun little mousetrap contraptions to get this dream demon. So back at the house, the cops, they can't figure out what the hell happened in that room. This is one that we're not going to be able to find a murderer, honestly. Nancy on the other side of the street is putting her drunken mom to bed and tells her, it's like, I love you, right before she leaves. She goes, sets her alarm clock, crawls into bed, and tells Freddy, we're going to play in your court tonight, bud. She says a quick prayer, sets the timer on her watch, and lays down to go to sleep. So she wakes up in the dream world, walks down the stairs, goes down into the basement, which the basement is turned into, you guessed it, the boiler room. But first she goes to the furnace looking for the glove. It's not there. That's when she goes down the other set of stairs that's in the basement into the boiler room section. Mm-hmm. After searching around for a while, she finally gets annoyed and just calls out for Freddy. And it's just like, I'm here, dude. Come and get some. She continues searching. She actually finds the crucifix from her bedroom in the dream world. And we see that Freddy is watching her. So next to a fire, she then finds Rod's bloody headphones. She finally just screams at him to show himself and looks at her watch to see how much time she has. He then appears next to her just immediately. He was like, hey, you called. Here I am. Let's go. Then she runs away, jumping from what ends up being her house window into the yard. And guess who came with her? Good old Freddy. So she tries jumping him, but does a really bad job, and he gets full mount. Like, he jumps on top of him and immediately goes right underneath him. So she then wakes up in her bed to the sound of her alarm. She, is thinking now, it's like, maybe I am crazy after all. But then Freddy jumps up from the side of the bed. And this jump scare actually did give me a little bit. So that one.
Oh yeah. All right.
So good on Nightmare on Elm Street for unpredictable jump scares. Really, no predictable timing on that one.
I did a rewatch actually like last night because I'm obsessed. And right when that happened, I had like taken my attention away, even though I knew it was coming up. They did a really good job with the sound too, because I like whipped my head like, what?
Yeah.
So hell yeah.
So she smashes the coffee pot over his head and gets out of there, locking the door behind her, setting up the booby trap that she had planned. She goes to the window, calls out to the cops that's across the street over there for help. She's like, hey, I got this guy trapped. You need to get over here. Murder's in the house. Like, come on, guys. And the guy's like, what's going on over there? Okay. Well, no, she's probably just having a bad dream. Don't need to worry about that. So Freddy then opens the door. He gets hit in the nuts with the sledgehammer, falls over the banister, tumbles down the stairs and lands at her feet. She runs over into the living room, dares him to come and chase her, and then he hits the tripwire, exploding the little IED light bulb bomb that she built. So she continues to scream, and the stupid cop finally gets the hint and is like, you know what? Maybe I should go get her dad. I mean, he's like right inside the house, and her dad did tell me if I saw anything suspicious that I should go get her. So since she's been screaming for 5 minutes about a killer being over in the house, maybe this would be a good situation to have the cops in.
Yeah.
That guy was a close second for my most hateable character.
Ooh,
He just didn't
okay.
get enough screen time. So she runs to the basement, leading him towards the next trap. She hits him with a bottle of some kind of fuel source, lights him on fire. And she runs up the stairs, locks the door, leaving him a walking fireball in the basement. So her dad finally comes running over the house, but the door's locked because mom is a crazy paranoid and put all these extra locks on there. Finally able to bust in, and she leads them over to the basement, but the door is already open. And we have fiery footprints that lead all the way through the kitchen, around the living room, right up the stairs. So they run upstairs. They find Freddy still in fireball mode, attacking mom, who is laying on the bed. So dad throws a big blanket over the two, putting the fire out. And when he pulls it away, Freddy is gone, and the scorched corpse of mom is laying there on the bed, but it slowly falls through a portal in the bed and disappears, leaving nothing but the clean mattress and
They
sheet.
did a really good job with like bed effects in this movie.
Yeah. So no, I think actually one of the things from Nightmare on Elm Street that I saw some behind the scenes thing of how they were doing like the rubber wall effect. And I was like, you know what? Like the practical effects were pretty decent.
They were awesome.
And Fireball guy, like that was great. So they did a good job with that. But yeah, the bed thing was that was definitely the most intense, I think, at least like CGI that they did, because she just falls into this weird purple portal, and then it's just like she's gone. So yeah. So now Nancy turns to dad and is like, "Now do you believe me? Okay,
Yeah,
you get it now. All right, you should know as a cop in this town who the fuck Fred Krueger is." But she tells her dad to just go downstairs. She'll be there in a minute. And then the dad just leaves. He just follows his daughter's advice after seeing his wife sucked into ex-wife. Well, yeah, I guess. Seeing her sucked into this like weird portal. So the door then closes of its own accord. She turns back, and something rises up out of the bed.
I like to think that when he was on his way out, he was just like, "Hot damn, no more child support."
I mean, he might have been been thinking that. He might have some other things like, "Whew, finally that drunk bitch got it.
I'll get my house back.
I'll get my house back." Yeah, it's covered in blood and weird booby traps, but I'll get my house back. It's just a little renovation. It'll be fine. Throw some paint on that. It's all good. So Freddy then cuts his way through the sheets on the bed as she tries to use the strategies from the dream book to get rid of him. She's turned his back on him and says, "I take back every bit of energy that I gave you. You are nothing. You're shit." And then grabs the door to leave, and he evaporates as he tries to attack her. He's gone. And so we cut to Nancy walking out of the house to a bright, sunny day with her mom. Her mom's back and is just fine. Guys, it is a super sunny day, and it's misty as hell. So we're still in the dream world, y'all. Okay. So car rolls up. Oh, God, I'm so sorry for spoiling this movie that's like 50 years old, and also that we're about to.
Oh, it's 42 years old, dude.
Okay. All right. I was rounding up. But even though it's still sunny, like I said, still foggy. Car rolls up. It's Tina. It's Rod. It's Glenn. The whole gang's back together, rolling up in the convertible, ready to go out on the town for a great time. She hops into the car, and that's when the convertible top just immediately pops up with conspicuous red and white stripes. The rest of the car is fully red, but this little soft top has got red and white stripes on it. And then the doors lock, and then the windows start to roll up, and a car just drives away of its own accord, off into the distance, passing the little girl's jumping rope.
Mm.
Mom is watching from the doorstep and waves goodbye to her daughter. And then Freddie's hand comes crashing through the window, grabbing her by the face and pulling her back through the tiny window in the door. The end. So I was glad that they made Mom eat it twice.
Yeah.
That was
So
really satisfying.
what did you think about that very end part where she gets pulled through the window?
That was, I mean, the with these old movies you see, like whenever it's like in Frankenhooker, whenever like the hookers just kind of it cuts to them as a mannequin and then they
Right.
explode. Where this one it cuts to her as a mannequin and she's sucked through the
Yeah.
window. So it was I mean,
It's that
once again,
she's actually a blow-up doll.
oh, okay. It was a blow.
Yeah.
I knew, yeah, it was some kind of it's not a hard shell mannequin.
Right. The reason I ask is because Wes Craven did not want that in the movie at all, and they
Really?
made him put that in. So because they wanted sequels, they were like,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, here's
So
the thing, having the Freddy car drive off with them in it is kind of already enough of like, you could have cut it
I
at the
think it was the
kid's jumping
entirety of
rope.
yeah. If I'm not mistaken, well, I don't remember actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I can't remember. Huh,
Yeah.
never mind about that.
Well, like I could the scene would still work if you didn't have in there and if you just literally cut to black after like the car drives off and you
Yeah.
see the little girls jumping rope. That actually would have been an okay place to end it, but I guess with a horror movie, you got to end on some kind of jump scare
I
if you want to do a sequel.
I like her getting pulled through the window. I know it looks a little cornballish, but I
Yeah.
like it. I
Once
like it.
again, I'm fine with it. We got to see her get it twice, so uh,
Yeah,
so
she
that's fine
deserved
by
it.
me.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so I think this movie's excellent. Steven, this movie is excellent. We kind of glazed over the opening scene. I thought this was a strong opening scene where you just hear him kind of like maniacally breathing and he's sharpening those gloves and you get set into this creepy boiler room, which by the way, if I were a child looking at this boiler room, I'd be pissing my pants. There's no
Yeah,
way.
it's a creepy place.
That score that's going on, Charles Bernstein, he did that score throughout the movie. So
Yes,
good. It
much
is.
better than Halloween.
Oh shoot.
Yeah,
I have to disagree with you, but I think it's really effective and it's really good. The comedy in this, while not like lasting through the movie, up until Tina dies, is pretty fucking good. We get the dick joke where Tina's like, "My name has 4 letters in it. How would it fit on your dick?"
that was a
And
great line.
then yeah, and then fucking the sound effects tape that Glenn gets from Rod, and
Yeah,
it starts
that
doing
was
gunshots and stuff. I was like, "Oh man, these
like,
are good." Like,
yeah, Bobby lives in a rough neighborhood. It's just
right.
crazy, and then it turns into like a straight up war zone with like women screaming and bombs dropping, and they're just like, "Hold
Yeah.
on, we gotta switch this cassette." Just a
Yeah,
second.
mom, I'll call the cops. I'll call the cops.
Yeah.
So I think that like I know that the budget is small, and with the amount of like special effects they did in this movie, I was so surprised to see so many sets.
Yeah.
Like, and all the sets were so good, man. I loved it. I thought the school was awesome. I thought it was the scariest part of the movie where Tina
Yeah.
is getting dragged through the hallway, or honestly, when she shows up in the doorway in the body bag, I was like, oh, I remember seeing that for the first time as a young man and being like, oh God,
Yeah.
so man, the effects. I know that you said you didn't like all the effects. Some of them were just gross out effects. The finger one is the only one that I'm really like, I'm not crazy about that. But from him slicing his chest open, the effect where he or where he's coming through the wall while Nancy's sleeping,
Yeah.
when Tina rips Freddy's face off,
That
I
was
was like,
good.
oh, and then the bathroom scene. I like the entirety of the bathroom scene where she gets like brought underwater and then
That
has to
one,
like come back up, because that
yeah.
is like a fear of mine.
Well, and
So
also just that underwater thing where she's just like struggling to get back, and it's this like dark
yeah,
abyss of water. Like that was one that was very effective, and I thought, yeah, at least for me, that was one of the more freaky things. It's like, okay,
yeah,
maybe I can find a pipe in this weird boiler room warehouse thing, but in the depths of this black water where it's just me and Freddie, and you have a tiny little glimmer of light at the top of the
yeah,
water. That one was really really well done.
right.
So
And what?
considering now that I have the budget, the context of the budget, only doing
Yeah,
this for 1.8 mil, like I'll give him a lot more respect on the practical effects. So
yeah, and that, I mean, we can't talk about effects without talking for the third time about Blood Geyser. That's what I call it.
yeah,
Blood Geyser was awesome. It ruled.
we might have to do
And
a ranking of all the different blood geysers and see which one's the best.
I'm
It's
telling
like,
you right now, to this point, it is this Blood Geyser. This is the
yeah.
best.
You don't think the Army of Darkness pit blood geyser can compete? It's like, come on.
I thought that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
For all the shit that we talked about, Army of Darkness, cool Blood Geyser.
Yeah.
So, but no, I think that this one blows that one out of the water. I just like how the scene is shot. I mean, that's something else we got to talk about. Is the cinematography in this movie is really good.
Yeah. No, the sound design I think was definitely the strongest of the elements of this movie. It was just the constant like whispering, the creepy knives scraping across the window, the little whispers and things. Yeah, they did a really really good job with that, as well as the effects and such.
Yeah. Onto my dislikes. The last 20 minutes of the movie, it does do that Home Alone thing.
Mhm.
I'm not crazy about it, but in my Home Alone fan fiction, I have Freddy Krueger as the first wet bandit. So
The Bloody
makes Home Alone,
Bandit.
makes Home Alone better, makes Nightmare on Elm Street better. What goes wrong, you know? Also, Nancy's mom. There's not like one thing that I really liked about Nancy's mom or that I found redeeming or anything like that.
I wish she
Which
died first.
sucks. Yeah, same. Uh, this is a 5-star movie. I love this movie. This is like one of those cream of the crop movies for me, where every time I watch it, I think it looks great, it sounds great, awesome characters. Even if you don't care for the acting throughout the movie, which I think is kind of crazy if you don't care about the acting. I mean, like Nancy, yeah, I get it. Her dad, did you recognize him?
I knew him from something, but I couldn't place it.
He was the promoter on Tenebrae.
Oh,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
the agent guy that.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. But yeah, it's an awesome film. The effects are amazing. This is one of the ones that I think about all the time. And I don't know if it's my favorite Friday the 13th, or I'm sorry, my bad. A Nightmare on Elm Street. Like there's another one that kind of creeps that ground too. So depending on the day of the week, A Nightmare on Elm Street might not be my favorite franchise, but it's got two of like my favorite movies in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna give this one a 3.5 stars. I was a little bit more affected by some of the cheesy acting in the beginning, and
Okay.
Nancy was a little bit stale for me whenever she's first freaking out about the death of her friend. I just
Right.
I didn't believe you, but she did kind of catch her stride towards the end. She was
Yeah.
a much better determined fighter of horror than she was a grieving friend freaking out. So maybe that's just suits her a little bit better as far as that role goes.
Sure.
But yeah, like Johnny Depp I think was definitely still the strongest actor out of this whole thing as far as his performance. I like whenever he had his dialogue moments, it's really good, it was believable. You can see why he went on to do all the other movies that he's been involved in.
Sure.
But I think the big thing with this one for me was this was like one of the, I think this is probably like the first property where after watching the first movie, I'm actually intrigued to continue and like get into
Ooh,
more of the lore. It's like I want to know
okay.
more about this murder case 20 years ago and more about like how this whole like dream thing like works. And it just I think it has a lot of potential for like good stuff that you can do with it. And so it was one that
Okay.
actually left me intrigued to learn more and go deeper into this one.
Yeah, that excites me. I mean, like Nightmare on Elm Street's awesome. Freddy Krueger's a kick-ass villain. I think he might be the strongest villain out of them all, just because how do you beat something that's in your dreams?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, that gets me excited, man. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. 3.5. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's
So
not too bad.
I'm sure with the more modern filmmaking and the sequels, maybe we get into a little bit more lore. I'm sure one of these can get that 4.5 from me. So it's hard to get a 5 out of me.
Right. I will say that the most modern movie in this franchise was like, I want to say like 2011 is when the remake came out. And it's not very good. Or at least to me, it's not very good. But the rest of them encapsulate kind of the late 80s and early 90s. So there's a couple really good ones coming up for sure.
Okay.
Couple bad ones, you know. I mean, it's kind of like all of those franchises that have 7, 8 movies: Halloween, Friday the 13th, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
You're
I
gonna
mean,
get some duds.
there's some trash in there,
Yeah.
you know. But is it your kind of trash? That's what it comes down to.
True. Yep.
Heck yeah, man! I can't wait then. Well, guys, it's been Horror and the Hater, and we'll catch you later.